Hello everyone, Silent here and welcome back to another Bedrock Edition tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to build a brand new, fully functional, reliable, and easy to use AFK fish farm in your Bedrock Edition worlds, of course. As you can see, this thing is pretty cute and tiny, and honestly extremely cheap as well, and hopefully you guys do enjoy using this in your worlds. I believe this is the first ever one-wide tileable fish farm for the Bedrock Edition. As you can see, each fish farm is only a single block wide, and that means that you can put multiple of these things right next to each other and they all work just fine. It's not very practical, however, it's fun that we can finally build farms like this on the Bedrock Edition. There was a time where our fish farms were the size of small buildings and they were terrible, but these things actually work really well. So this fish farm will of course give you all of the standard loot that you get from fishing, such as amazing books, any enchantment in the entire game, amazing bows, better fishing rods than the one that you are currently using, and basically all of the good loot and food that you could ever need. These things are honestly amazing for getting set up early game in a world. So how you actually use this design is fairly straightforward. You just want to grab your fishing rod of choice, stand right here on top of this trapdoor, and then you want to aim right at the very bottom middle square of this piston right here, the little white square. Just click on that and your bobber should float right up, activate that tripwire hook, and allow you to click on the note block in the back. Now for this design, we will be using an auto clicker because there's no real designs that don't use auto clickers on the Bedrock Edition. If you are on a PC, I will have an auto clicker link down in the description for you. If you are on a mobile, you can download an auto clicker from the App Store, of course. And if you are on a Switch or Xbox, sorry, there is no real auto clickers for you unless you actually build a physical one, which you can do out of Legos. I've seen that done before. However, if you're on console, I have a semi-AFK design where you can just kind of click mindlessly every now and again and basically AFK fish. If you're on console, that is going to be your best bet. Sadly, I know it's not a perfect world, so I wasn't really planning on making a new AFK fish farm at all, since I already have like 3 other designs that still work perfectly fine. However, I completely accidentally discovered a little bit of a bug or a mechanic, whatever you want to call it, where the fishing bobber doesn't really care what kind of water it's on. So I just like completely randomly threw it in this water over here, and then as soon as I caught something, it fell out. And I was like, oh, that's gonna make for an extremely simple AFK fish farm. You can see that better over here. Fishing bobber clearly has a couple small issues, but that's fine. We're totally gonna build a farm out of that because it is the simplest fish farm ever. So be sure to check the pinned comment down below the video before you build this farm, because I will tell you down there if this design is broken. So let's hop into the tutorial, shall we? First things first, there's going to be a materials list down below for those of you who are interested in the description. Definitely check that out if you need to. And also, I'll be talking more about troubleshooting and the aim of this farm at the end of the tutorial for those of you who need help making this thing work. But the first thing that you want to do is actually go ahead and remove 6 blocks in a row, just like so, here in the ground. And then this right here is where you'll actually be standing AFK to use the farm, so build accordingly. And what we're going to do is just mine out those 2 blocks to place in a double chest for some temporary storage. You can of course run that off into whatever storage system you like. Place in a hopper, a trapdoor to stand on so you are at the correct height. You can also flick that up to actually open your chest for storage. And now we want to go back by a couple blocks, place down a solid block, a note block, and a normal piston facing forward right above that, so it actually blocks your access to the note block so you can cast your fishing rod. Now what you want to do is place a solid block right there, redstone torch on it, a tripwire hook right there, piece of string, and then 2 temporary blocks. Remove that one right above your hopper and place in 1 more tripwire hook, just like so. And that is basically it. So the final 2 things to do with this farm is place in a water source right there, and that will flood directly into this little hole. As long as you don't have any other holes in the area or lower points that it wants to flow to, it'll flow exactly as shown here. And also, you want to make sure that there is direct sky access right above this piece of string and this piece of water. No pieces of glass, no glass panes or iron bars or anything. you need rain to be able to land on that piece of water. And in general, just having direct sky access to your fishing water will significantly boost your rates, and rain like really boosts your rates when fishing and gives you much better loot. So you definitely want to make sure you got that sky access. So now we can actually go ahead and test this thing out. Again, you want to aim right at that lower square, and your little fishing bobber should float right up in the water. As soon as you catch something, it should always land on that hopper, no matter how you throw the bobber in there. And yeah, as you can see, this thing is pretty much working just fine. So when it comes to troubleshooting this thing, it's basically the same whether you have a single slice or double slices. So I'm just gonna be using this double one right here. And basically what sometimes might happen is when you cast the fishing bobber, the bobber will actually just fall out of the water immediately. It is a pretty rare occurrence to happen. However, when it does happen, it usually happens consistently in a row several times. What you actually need to do to fix that is just switch off of your fishing rod, just back out of there, extend in a different spot, and just aim in a different area. That completely fixes it. Sound guaranteed fix. And honestly, it doesn't really matter where exactly your fishing bobber is staying in the water, as long as it's in the water and it like actually falls on the hoppers when it catches something, the farm's gonna work totally fine. So again, if you're having issues with the aim, just move around, change your range up a little bit, and that'll be pretty much it. And as you can see, having two of these right next to each other works totally fine. These things are pretty awesome. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, of course, do let me know in the comment section down below. Always try and help you guys out as best as I possibly can. And if you have enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to leave a like on the video, maybe share it around with your friends so that other people can use this amazingly simple AFK fish farm as well. Thank you very much for the support on the channel. If you guys want to see new tutorials like this one in the future, be sure to subscribe, of course. I love your guys' faces. I will see you down in the comment section and in the next one. Thank you again for watching. And then there was silence.